Hello everyone, my name is Yatin Gupta and I welcome you all to my channel EE Concepts. So in the previous lecture I started with some basic definitions related to network theory like voltage, current and charge. So this is a continuation of that lecture in which I will cover some more definitions for you. So in this lecture I am going to talk about what is power. How do we say that if an element is absorbing the power and delivering the power, that we will learn. After that I will come to the circuit elements, in which the first element that I am going to take is a resistor. Then I will talk about Ohm's law and we'll see what happens when there is a short circuit or an open circuit occurs in any network. Okay, so that we will see. Alright, so let's get started with our first topic, which is power. Now if I go by the definition, then the definition of power says that the rate of change of energy, either it is absorbed by the element or delivered by the element, is called the power. And the element can either dissipate, absorb or deliver that power. Three things can happen corresponding to the given amount of power. So if I say that in dt time, that absorbed, dissipated or delivered power is dW. So according to the definition, in unit time that power will be dW by dt. So this becomes the formula to calculate the power. P is equals to dW by dt. And there is another formula to calculate the power, is that the time function of voltage multiplied by the time function of current. This results in power. And if I talk about the unit, then it is joule per second, or we simply call it watts. The common unit that we take in our syllabus is watts. Alright. Okay. Now let us understand, when do we say the power is delivered and when do we say the power is absorbed. So in this slide you can see two figures. This is an element. Okay, I don't know which element it is. It can be a resistor, inductor, capacitor, anything. All I know is that this polarity here, plus and minus, and I can see that the current which is coming from here is entering the positive terminal. And in the second figure, the situation is reversed. The polarity across the element is reversed here. In this particular figure, the current is entering the negative terminal, or we can say it is leaving the positive terminal. It will come from here and it will leave from here. So we say that if the current is entering the positive terminal or leaving the negative terminal, both are the same thing, this element is absorbing the power. Okay. And if it is entering negative terminal or leaving the positive terminal, there is a slight mistake here, it is positive here. So the element will deliver the power. Alright. So this is how we say if an element is absorbing or delivering the power. So you cannot make any comment over the absorbed or delivered power if only the direction of current is given or only the polarities are given. You need both the things. You need the polarity and you also need the direction of current. Then only you can comment on absorbed or delivered power. Alright. So to understand it better, I have taken an example here. A 2 ampere of current is coming from here and it is entering the positive terminal. The voltage across this element is 5 volt. So here the power is being absorbed. And how much is that power? V into I. So 5 into 2, that will be 10 watts of power is being absorbed by this element. And similarly, in this case, as the polarity is reversed, so we say that the power is delivered. 3 into 2, 6 watts of power is being delivered by this particular element. Alright. Okay. Coming to the next topic, which is the circuit elements. So in any electrical network that you will solve, that you will see, there are three types of elements that are present: the resistor, inductor and the capacitor. Okay, so let me discuss a few important points related to these three, that these elements will either absorb, deliver or dissipate the energy. Okay, now to identify the type of element, what we look at the IV characteristic of it. If I want to find out that which element it is, I will look at the IV characteristic and I will comment, okay, it is a resistor, it is an inductor and it is a capacitor. So for resistor, we say that it will always dissipate the energy. Okay. You will never say that resistor is absorbing or delivering any kind of energy. It never absorbs or delivers any energy. It always dissipates the energy, and that energy is dissipated in form of heat. Okay. And for inductor and capacitor, they will either absorb the energy or either deliver the energy, which will depend on the circuit condition. We will see how, when it will absorb and when it will deliver. We'll see about that. Okay. So let's talk about resistor. So if the voltage across an element is linearly proportional to the current flowing through it, then the element will be called a resistance. Okay. So here you can also see a graph, which is the IV characteristic of a resistor. You can see there is a linear relationship between the voltage and the current. So what it is representing? It is representing a resistive element. And resistance always opposes the flow of current in any circuit, and it converts the electrical energy into heat. As we know that P is equal to VI, and if I put V equals to I into R, then the P will become I square into R. So this is the amount of energy that is being dissipated. Sorry, it's not energy, it is power. This much of power that is being dissipated in a resistor. Okay. Now if I want to calculate the energy, what I will do, I will simply integrate that power for a given amount of time. So I square R is the power, and for T time, if the power is being dissipated, then the total energy will be W is equals to I square into R into T. So from here, I can also calculate the value of resistance. If I have the given amount of energy, I have the current, and if I have the time. So by this formula also we can calculate the value of resistance. Okay. Coming to the next topic, which is the Ohm's law. So the definition says that the potential difference across an element is directly proportional to the current flowing through it. Okay. Some people call it a V proportional to I, some call it I proportional to V. Everything is correct, only the constant that comes after removing this proportionality sign becomes different. If you're writing I proportional to V, then after removing this sign, it becomes I is equals to G into V, and G is nothing but 1 by R into V. So if you're writing V proportional to I, it will become V equal to I into R. Okay. So the Ohm's law is valid only when the temperature and conductivity of the material are constant. So this is a very important point regarding the Ohm's law, that it will be only valid if your temperature is constant and the conductivity of material is constant. All right. Now coming to the last topic, which is the concept of short circuit and open circuit. You may find a situation while solving a circuit that a path is being short circuited or that path is being open circuited. So what is the scenario there? So if this path here is shorted, that means the resistance of this particular path has become 0. Okay. What do we say? If the resistances keep on going down and down and down, if it is coming to 0, it is just a shorted path. Okay. And if the resistance is going down, the current must be going up. So when the resistance reaches 0 value, the definitely from the equation, the I will go to infinity, right? And in the open circuit, if the resistance reaches infinity, then no current can pass through here. So I will become 0 and V out will become infinity. But does that really happen in a circuit? No. This is not the practical scenario. What practically happens, let me show you. So this is the practical scenario. This is the short circuit condition and this is the open circuited condition. These two terminals here are shorted with this path, which is shown here in red color. What is happening here? After this path is shorted, whatever branch is in parallel with this path becomes a dummy element. Dummy element means no current will pass through this element, the dummy element. So if I'm saying that a 10 ampere of current is coming from here, none of that current will pass through this resistance. All of that current will bypass through this shorted path. Okay. So only 10 ampere will pass through this. But previously what was happening? We said that I equal to infinity was passing. This is not what happens. only this 10 ampere current that will pass through this shorted path. And similarly, if I have a resistance here R equals to 2 ohms, and these two terminals here are open circuited. Previously, let's just say something was connected here and it got disconnected, so this became open circuit. So if the 10 ampere current is coming from here, that whole 10 ampere current will pass through this resistor, as there is no path here to flow. And what will be the voltage across it? The V will equal to I into R. So 10 into 2 will become 20 volts. So across these two terminals, these two nodes, the voltage will be 20 volts and not infinity that we saw in the previous case. All right. So this is the practical scenario of short circuit and open circuited path. Okay. So guys, that's all for this lecture. I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.